Wait, let me grab my notes. Sorry.
Okay, I'll start.
Take it from the top.
Just go.
So we kind of took a very different approach to doing this, and we started by talking a lot about our motivations and what we're looking to do, and just really trying to understand how we were going to approach this and how big of a scale we're going to do this. And it really just, most of the conversations came to interpersonalities and how we think and how differently we actually think, and how that uncertainty scared us, but there's also a big potential for a huge business there. I think, yeah, that's a pretty good summation of it.
Yeah, we started with the motivations, and then we kind of talked about what areas are you excited about, and then from there we found out there's actually a lot of overlap in the areas. Mobile is exciting, consumer internet's exciting, infrastructure is exciting about how you're going to put things in the cloud in the future. Clean tech is exciting if you can find out how do you have a disruptive business model. We found out the list starts to grow, and you can find people who are excited about these things as long as you have kind of a new, innovative way to do it. And we thought about well, what's the mission then? What makes these things similar? And it's having a very tangible impact, finding a way to empower people, and really making a big idea. So it's not, it can't just be $30 million or something. I know it sounds like everyone else's idea now. It has to be big, but and then the attributes-wise, it's really you have to create something, feel this ownership over the creation, and be passionate about the idea you're creating. If it's profitable, but it's you're not passionate about it, you're not really going to be able to pull it off. And then knowing that we think very differently, we thought we have to be very structured and open-minded about how we explore the ideas, and just try to make the best use of those different mindsets.
We covered most of it, I think.
So you didn't say the name, which you have to say because I can't.
Oh, our name was Latency, which was based on just an idea we threw out in the middle.
Yeah.
Low latency.
Yeah, low latency. I don't know, do you guys want to say anything about how we kind of closed and the last meeting we had?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. At the end, we had a very frank discussion around how would we decide if we chose this team versus others, and what are we all looking for. And we seemed to have some sort of consensus that we'd all been in groups that felt like a more simple process, where we were more aligned with the people on our team earlier in the day, and got to a conclusion a lot faster. And this was so many different perspectives that it felt a little more scary, but it also felt like maybe we could get to a bigger idea that way. So that's sort of where we came out on it.
Yeah.
So pretty much, if I may summarize, name again,
Latency.
So if I may summarize, we pretty much didn't do whatever we were asked to do at all. In the end of it, attributes, action points, sure, yeah, we come up with some on the flow, But what was really interesting about it is we just sort of went out there and found the benches and said, let's just imagine, that this is it, okay, that it's 4 of us, and how do we feel about this, So we sort of tried to mature through the experiences we had throughout the day, and learn from all the discussions we had previously, because we would probably just naturally end up coming up with the same focus points, and what's important for me, and what makes me cry, and so on. And so we just sort of tried to be well, if we were given the news that this is the team, do we feel like so,
how do we all feel?
And that sort of a level of seriousness was well, I mean, what do you do with the information that maybe you feel uncomfortable about with somebody, but at the same time you feel very strong about their potential, and so on, and that's sort of what the discussion evolved about. So, sorry Cody, we haven't done it, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we have had a really interesting
So one cool, a really cool thing that happened is we started talking about different ideas and stuff we were interested in, and that kind of spurred this whole security and latency issue that it just sparked it. And then, so the latency issue was more just, so all these tablets and mobile phones, and they're going to become ubiquitous, and everyone's going to be doing everything from their phone or from being mobile. So that kind of led into security of that in the cloud, because everyone's putting information up there, and how secure is it? And then we kind of went into the surgical robotics and how you need really low latencies for that, and you can't have any lag between when the doctor actually uses the information and when the robot will actually do it, especially if you're doing like the doctors in the US and the doctors and the patients in India, you know, and just trying to find those trends in the future and then try to intersect it with something and not necessarily trying to find the idea now. So we're trying to focus more on the trends that we saw and how we could adapt to that and answer those in 2 to 3 years.
So,
There's not selling diapers through Walmart.
okay. But anyway, so I guess what Francesco, I didn't even know their name. So was trying to convey is that we simply try to be like, okay, well, we are now having a discussion that might be happening in real life, and can we make an inspiring discussion that is leading to potentially framing a big opportunity? You know, so we were actually doing it in real time, and we was trying to doing around latency when we started, you know, from shooting, game shooting, and Vanessa was like, you kindly see this, you know, you want to deliver impact in the world. And we ended up, you know, we ended up with like the surgical applications and so on. So it was really interesting. So that's all.
All right. Thank you.